Want to know the difference between dreaming and doing? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a warrior. Tech goes by many names. Business, fine art, forensic science. Some think it's just technical. But really, tech means everything. Scholarships, internships, championships. It's professors who make time for you one-on-one. It's putting everything on the line. It can be fierce. It can be fascinating. It can be awesome. Most important, it's believing in yourself and what you have to offer the world. Because at Indiana Tech, warriors are prepared to lead a significant life.
You're busy. You expect to say no sometimes. But what you didn't expect was a chance to say yes to a college degree while keeping your life. Indiana Tech is now offering Chicago area students undergraduate and graduate degree opportunities taught online by experienced faculty who care. Learn more at one of the new Indiana Tech enrollment centers in Naperville or Wilmette.
I can turn this in early? Sure, whenever you're ready.
Embrace the unexpected at Indiana Tech.
Well, first of all, I'd like to say that there aren't very many energy programs out there. When I researched all of the various programs recently, there are really only 2 or 3 accredited engineering programs.
I'm from Las Vegas, Nevada originally. I came out here to Indiana Tech to actually go for the energy engineering program because of its uniqueness and its ability to get hands-on with the materials I'm going to be using in the future.
Well, a few of the things I think that sets Indiana Tech apart is, number one, you have very small classes. You have very close relationships with your professors. When you have a class of 10 people, it's much easier to get to know the professor and get in contact with him than if you have a class of 30, 40, or 50. You're going to have the same professors for the majority of your classes. You're going to have the same classmates for the majority of your classes.
The more practical applications come in all the subsequent energy engineering classes. He transfers in a class that right after they're leaving the classroom, and the board is filled with calculus. So in order to understand a lot of these topics, they're going to need to understand the calculus there. Calculus is the study of the rate of change, how fast things change. And depending upon whether it's energy engineering, industrial engineering, or whatever, they're going to need to use that and apply that.
Professor Romary, he stands out to me the most right now because when I first got here, I had to take calculus, Calc 1, Calc 2. And he's one of the professors that teaches it. And he just really was a very kind and helpful guy, and he did whatever he could to help us out. He was very funny, always had a way of creatively teaching calculus to us that not a whole lot of people can do. And I think that and how he did it is going to be something that's going to stick for me for a very long time.
The field work that Indiana Tech can provide here is, for example, we have a 10 kilowatt windmill that the students can work with. We have a geothermal system for a couple of the buildings, for Utangsu and for Zollner, that uses geothermal principles to heat and cool the buildings in the summer and the winter.
The PV array system, training system that we have down here in the basement allows us to wire up the panels we have down in the basement to set it up as a off-the-grid system or a battery bank system, which helps us because we can see every component of the system actually intertwining and how they work together, which is something that may not be easily visible when you're on the job site in a career. So definitely my internship at SuperValue Incorporated was a very, very beneficial program for me to be in. It was more based on the process and logistical side of engineering of my degree, not necessarily the design aspect. It helped me really learn how the most efficient way to do a task and some of the boundaries that come with trying to make things more efficient.
One of the things that we've been very fortunate here at Indiana Tech is that we've had a grant through AEP to help subsidize our students in taking some of the various trips in spring break. Over the last 4 years, I have taken, along with a couple of other chaperones, I've taken almost a couple of dozen students to a trip to Germany and Switzerland that focused on renewable energy. We've gone to Iceland last year, focusing on geothermal energy, and we just recently returned from a trip to Costa Rica.
Just last year, I went to Iceland with a couple of our peers, not even just energy engineers, but a couple of other engineering majors went along with us. And for me, that was the highlight of my college time. I mean, we learned a lot about like geothermal systems and how they converted to a country of basically like ran just by geothermal. But it wasn't just learning about that, it was also learning about their culture as well, you know, and the past and the history and where they plan to go in their future. And all those things combined, I think, really kind of defines my experience here in Indiana Tech.
You can be the smartest engineer in the world, but if you cannot talk to or work with other engineers and non-engineers, it's very hard to get anything done. I try to teach my students that while you may not like writing, it's going to be a part of the job. You have to communicate. If you're doing experiments or testing hardware in the lab, you need to write it up so that other people know what you did, and the customer may want to know what are the results of that test.
Something I would remember most about the faculty would be just the one-on-one aspect of it and how open they are to hearing your problems and concerns and willing to assist you. Indiana Tech, with the class sizes being so small, you really get that one-on-one talking, everyday type relationship with your advisors and your professors. And having that is key to success, I feel, because being able to communicate with them and actually get your problems and questions across is going to help clarify things for you while you're in classes in school, which is going to set you up for success.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our cameras. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season, or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
Want to know what it means to be a warrior? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and walk a mile in a warrior's shoes. You want to know what's possible at Indiana Tech? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a warrior.
We welcome you inside the Schaefer Center here in Fort Wayne, Indiana, as the number 25 ranked Indiana Tech Warriors women's basketball team off to an 11-3 start this season, 8-0 in the Wolverine Hoosier Athletic Conference, play host to the Northwestern Ohio Racers, who come in at 4-10 on the year. 0-8 in the Wolverine Hoosier Athletic Conference this season. Again, welcome inside the Schaefer Center for SummitCitySports.com. I'm Jaron Matheny. Glad you are with us for tonight's doubleheader here in the WHAC. And two winnable games for Indiana Tech here tonight. We'll see if they can get it done, but obviously you stare at the records and the conference records, especially in this matchup, and it shoots off the page. Unbeaten versus a team without a win in the conference so far this year. Indiana Tech comes in following a 79-44 win here at home on Saturday over Rochester. That helped the Warriors improve to 5-1 on the home floor this year. Now back-to-back victories for Indiana Tech. Warriors are also 5-1 on the road this season, 1-1 in neutral site games. And the only losses of the year for Indiana Tech have come to current top 25 teams, including number 2, Indiana Wesleyan, back on December 30th. Number 16, University of Providence, that was back in Hawaii on December 17th. And then at the beginning of the year on November 3rd, it was a loss on the road at Georgetown for Indiana Tech. They do have a ranked win in there as well with that Hoops in Hawaii Holiday Classic 3-point win over current number 5 Carroll College. It's Northwestern Ohio on the docket tonight, and then 2 weeks until our next home game for Indiana Tech, which will take place on January 24th, starting at 6 p.m. Doubleheader again against Cleary the next time out. But the next 3 games after this one for Indiana Tech, all on the road, starting on Saturday at Concordia. Next Wednesday, it's at Lourdes, and then the following Saturday at Madonna. So a little bit of road Warriors check for Indiana Tech. They'll be back home 2 weeks from today, January 24th. Back home again, January 31st. And for the most part, once we hit that January 24th date, every Wednesday for the rest of the conference season, with the exception of February 7th, will be a home game for Indiana Tech and double headers on those Wednesday and Saturdays. A lot of home games still coming up for the Warriors over the course of the next month and a half, 6 weeks of the remaining season. For the Racers of Northwestern Ohio, they come in following their lowest output of the season on the offensive side at Lawrence Tech on Saturday. UNOH falling 64-33, the final score in Southfield, Michigan at Don Riddler Fieldhouse, as Lawrence Tech picked up their 4th conference win of the year. And currently, Northwestern Ohio riding a 3-game losing streak into play today. The last win came at home against Kalamazoo, 101-66. And for Northwestern Ohio, it's all going to be about picking up that first conference win of the year. 8-12 in the conference slate a season ago for Northwestern Ohio. The Racers' last conference win came on February 15th of last year. An 8-point win against Aquinas at home. They fell in the tournament quarterfinals last season by 10 points at Siena Heights. And while we're talking about the Wolverine Hoosier Athletic Conference, gives us a great opportunity to take a look at your current standings here in the WHAC for women's basketball. That's coming in to today. Concordia at the top of the standings with a half-game advantage over Indiana Tech. It's Concordia, 10-3 overall, 9-0 in the conference. Tech follows with an 8-0 conference record. Siena Heights at number 3, 7-1 in the conference. And then a logjam. Cornerstone, number 4, they're 5-3 overall in the conference standings. And then Madonna, Aquinas, Rochester, all tied for 5th place currently. Lawrence Tech is alone in 8th place. Lourdes is 9th at 3-5. Cleary 1-7, and then UNOH and Dearborn both 0-8 so far in the conference this year. Concordia at the top of the table. They are playing host, are on the road at Aquinas tonight. That game has already started. Got a couple of 5:30 tip-offs, so we will have some scores for you to dive into. Certainly, once we hit the halftime break, we'll have some third-quarter scores at that point. Other games in the WHAC tonight, Rochester at Cornerstone, Madonna at Lawrence Tech, Cleary at Lourdes, and then Dearborn is at Siena Heights here this evening, as Tech is knocking on the door of Concordia, just a half game back with that one less W in the win column. Indiana Tech, though, a chance to take on Concordia on Saturday. So it'll be very interesting to see if you can stay unbeaten here. If Concordia wins tonight as well, then we'll have 2 unbeaten teams facing off in Ann Arbor on Saturday afternoon. It'll be fun to get there. We'll see if Tech can make it there, as the Warriors are in black and orange here on the home floor tonight, taking on Northwestern Ohio. Should be a good matchup, and we'll see how deep Indiana Tech is able to go to their bench in this game today. And on the other side, University of Northwestern Ohio dealing with some injuries in this one. Savannah Lang, the senior from Fort Myers, is out. Ana Montero is out tonight, as well as J.C. Allen. She is also out. So there's 3 on this roster that are just unavailable to play in the first place here tonight for head coach Matt Vavro. Vavro in his 2nd season at the helm for the Racers, who are located in Lima, Ohio. We'll get another team from that area in Defiance when they come into the conference next season here in the WHAC. Those are your standings as of right now, and we'll get an updated look at those standings as we make our way throughout the day here tonight. We'll get you your starting lineups coming up as well for this matchup between Indiana Tech and Northwestern Ohio. The Racers at 4-10, 0-8 in the conference, taking on the Indiana Tech Warriors. 11-3 overall for Tech, 8-0 in the WHAC so far this season. We're going to step aside, take about a 4-minute pause. We'll come back after the national anthem. We'll have your starting lineups and tip-off as Tech looks to stay unbeaten in conference play. Northwestern Ohio trying to grab that first win of the conference season, and what a big one it would be. Injuries plaguing this Racers lineup, and we'll see how they adjust here tonight on the road in downtown Fort Wayne. Live from the Schaefer Center tonight, it's Indiana Tech taking on Northwestern Ohio. Your starting lineups and tip-off coming up after this break. You're tuned in to Indiana Tech Athletics here on YouTube and SummitCitySports.com.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our camera. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season, or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
I decided if I was going to come to Indiana Tech, I was going to be a different kind of instructor. I was really going to focus on connecting with students, teaching the students the theory that they needed and also the practical applications.
Very practically, what that looks like is smaller class sizes. So my class sizes are the 8 to 10 up to maybe 20. And that's backed up with, we have 18 hours of office hours every week. I'm sitting in my office waiting for students to come in to talk about anything. It doesn't just have to be with the classroom.
In the College of Engineering, we have ABET accreditation for mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, and biomedical engineering. ABET is the top accrediting board for engineering in the United States and probably in the world.
Another thing that is a very different approach at Indiana Tech, I think, that some other universities, is we try and make sure they have a lot of lab experience in the engineering department. All engineering programs are going to have laboratory courses, but in our laboratory courses we try to get them not just exposure to measurements and exposure to some of the devices that you'll be used, but I like to actually assign projects that are, realistic projects.
Those projects, this project-based learning, help students to work together in a group and be hands-on with their the material or the product that they're creating. Engineering students at Indiana Tech are, to me, stand out because I know that they've had a lot of experiences working in groups, working on projects, doing lab experiments to help them understand the material, and I think that prepares them well for industry.
First thing I'll tell a high school student is study, study, study. Get all the math you can possibly get. I honestly believe that the critical thinking skills you learn in math courses will help you with engineering courses.
The type of knowledge base that students should have coming in, they need to be problem solvers and critical thinkers. Those two things are really the essence of engineering. Regardless of flavor, they're going to need to figure out, there's a problem here, how do I solve it? And they need to think critically about that. They need to observe, listen to people, and then kick in those problem-solving skills to solve the problem.
Part of the growth of Indiana Tech has involved an increasing number of international students. So I think if we can expose students to different ideas, different cultures, again, it makes them that much more competitive in the marketplace.
In the Fort Wayne area, we have lots of large companies, BAE Systems, Fort Wayne Metals, General Motors, Raytheon, Harris Corporation, and the list goes on. We have a lot of employers that want our engineering students.
Indiana Tech, I think, continues to serve students even beyond their graduation. We really strive to keep in touch with our alumni on a personal level just to see how they're doing, but then also they want to give back to the university because of the experiences they've had here, so they want to provide opportunities for other students here as well.
Downtown Fort Wayne, Indiana, live at the Schaefer Center here tonight. Number 25, Indiana Tech taking on Northwestern Ohio. Let's meet the starters for the visitors on the scoreboard. First, the Racers out of Northwestern Ohio. So there's the starting five for Northwestern Ohio. Liv Thompson, Lee Lawson, Alicia Patterson, Alea Allen, and then Sophia Oyhammer make up that starting five for the Northwestern Ohio Racers as the intro plays for Indiana Tech. And we get a preview of your home starters here for the Warriors tonight. And it's been the same starting five all year long for head coach Jesse Biggs. And this group has put together a good run so far this season, looking for yet another conference championship. And you can't win a conference championship without taking care of the opponents in front of you first. That's what these starters look to do here tonight for Indiana Tech. Now there you see the lineup one more time. Juliana Burrish, Genevieve Decker, Taylor Covington, Erica Foy, and Corinne Smith, a part of that starting five for Indiana Tech here this evening. SummitCitySports.com, Jaron Matheny, glad you are with us. Esau Haynes is running our camera here tonight, back on campus, and you see and hear the students back on campus. That's the wrestling team, I'm being told, over on the far side there for Indiana Tech, who seems like they're going to be making some noise in this matchup against the Racers. Allen and Decker at center court to tip us off. We're underway today here inside the Schaefer Center, SummitCitySports.com. Jared Matheny, glad you are with us as Erica Foy opens up the game with 2 points for Indiana Tech. Foy, the leading scorer on the Tech roster this season. She has been about as dynamic as you can be on the offensive end this year. Lawson to the right side. Allen turning towards the paint. Turns, hook shot. Tried to kiss it off the glass, but to no avail. And Genevieve Decker has the first defensive rebound for Indiana Tech. Warriors trying to be patient, diligent in this game. Know what you have out in front of you the next couple of days. Covington 3 ball kicks off the iron. And here comes Alicia Patterson. Double screens left. Patterson gives up right. Head fake from Thompson, the freshman. Tried to sling it back towards the top, and it's turned over. And then a foul in addition on Thompson as Corinne Smith gets the takeaway. 1 minute off the clock in this opening quarter. 2-0 lead for Tech. Head coach Matt Vavro in year number 2 on the sidelines for Northwestern Ohio. Genevieve Decker to the middle, free throw line, jump shot, and you're not going to find many better in the nation than Erica Foy in that 15-foot range. She's got all 4 points to start for Tech. Oyhammer for Patterson. She launches and gets the friendly bounce. Northwestern Ohio, the first to hit from long range in this game as the Racers trail by 1. Coming up on the 8:15 mark in this opening quarter of action. Pass a little high. Smith able to corral. Going up against Thompson. She's got the height advantage. Has to spin it back out for Covington. Midway through the shot clock. Burris for Foy. Height advantage here. Foy dribbles, finds the rim, and she's got all 6 for Indiana Tech. We'll credit Juliana Burris with the assist on that possession as well. Thompson kicks out. Now a skip pass collected by Patterson. Down to 10 on the shot clock as Covington poked it 3. Oyhammer chased after it, rolls out of bounds, and it's Tech basketball. And last possession down the floor, Erica Foy doing what she does best, scoring in bunches for Indiana Tech. Just 33 points the last time out for Northwestern Ohio, although they do average about 71 points a contest this year. Covington looking in for Decker. She attacks. Didn't get the friendly bounce off the glass as Thompson collects on the tap back. Patterson pulls up just inside that 3-point line and hits. Alicia Patterson good for 2. Juliana Burris jumps back up to her feet. Good to see as she jogs down the floor. They're going to take her out just as a precaution here and make sure she's okay as Amaris Lowry is on for Indiana Tech. Lowry for Foy on the right wing. Midway through the shot clock on this possession. Lowry, first time on the floor, sinks the long-range look off her first touch. 9-5, Indiana Tech leads. 6:40 first quarter. Thompson lost her footing. Ball on the deck. And a jump ball as Allen goes after it with Covington. Possession arrow favors Northwestern Ohio. Racers with a substitution. D. Williams on for the first time as Thompson comes off. So 6 points for Foy. The other 3 belong to Lowry. Patterson off the screen, dribbling. Baseline, kicks off. 3-pointer and a foul here. Will send Lawson to the charity stripe for 3 attempts as Lowry just undercut her on that shot. First team foul of the quarter against Indiana Tech. Lawson, 3 free throws upcoming. It's loud here inside the gym. And too strong on that first free throw for Lawson. 73% at the line this season as a team for Northwestern Ohio. Lawson herself, 76.6%, averaging 20 points a game to lead the Racers this season. She started 14 out of the 15 games. And Lawson, 1 for 3. We had somebody step over the line anyway for Northwestern Ohio. Free throw wouldn't have counted. Coach Vavro just trying to get a confirmation on who stepped over the line that time to cause the whistle. It was the shooter. Covington step back triple. No. Offensive rebound to Decker. Finds Foy. 15-foot jump shot. And there's Erica Foy again. Incredible. I mean, 18 feet and in. She's just unstoppable. The mid-range game gets so lost nowadays, but that is Erica Foy's specialty. Patterson has to collect that ball from Williams. Now driving to the inside, kicks off. Oyhammer blocked on the way to the rim. See if the guards can get rolling now for Indiana Tech. Covington to Foy, puts her foot in the ground. Foy drives, missed that first attempt, loose ball, and it's Alea Allen who comes away with the rebound. Williams filters back to Patterson. And the Racers midway through this first quarter, right about 6 points so far. Foul on the drive as Lawson goes towards the rim. Taylor Covington picks up her first. Bethany Worm now in for Indiana Tech. Decker and Covington to the bench as Juliana Burris returns to the lineup as well for the Warriors. Patterson deep inbound. Lawson, foot on the line, but it's good on that 20-foot jump shot for Lawson as Northwestern Ohio pulls back within a possession. Offensive foul and a moving screen called against Indiana Tech. That's the first on Erica Foy. Lowry out, Decker right back in for Indiana Tech as we hit our media timeout in the first quarter. 11-8, Indiana Tech leading Northwestern Ohio. 4:53 to go in this opening quarter of action from the Schaefer Center. We're back in 1 minute. SummitCitySports.com.
Want to know the difference between dreaming and doing? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a Warrior. Want to know what it means to be a Warrior? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and walk a mile in a Warrior's shoes.
Just under 5 minutes remaining in the opening quarter from the Schaefer Center tonight. Indiana Tech, number 25 in the country, leading Northwestern Ohio by 3 points. Jaron Matheny for SummitCitySports.com. Glad you're with us here this evening. It is Racers basketball off the moving screen from Tech. Decker, Lowry, Worm, Smith, and Burris line the 5 on the floor for Indiana Tech. This is part of a doubleheader. Rest of the season we'll have doubleheaders here inside the Schaefer Center. Good attack, but an offensive foul as Worm sets up for the screen. She does it so well on the defensive end, puts her body on the line, takes the contact, and there's the first personal charge to Lee Lawson. Decker into Corinne Smith. Kick out to Burris. Good ball movement as Worm gets a touch. Inside, Decker, easy lay-in as Tech extends the lead to 5. Good ball movement, set it up. Cutting action, gets the points. As we approach the final 4 minutes of the first quarter, Lawson dumps to the inside. Allen stepped through, fouled, as she goes up with the left hand, and Alea Allen, a junior from Richmond, back to the charity stripe for the Racers. That is the 4th team foul against Indiana Tech already. Allen free throw good. Allen averages about 2 free throws attempted per game, 60% this season, but 2 for 2 on this trip. 13-10. Tech on top. Burris, Smith hover right near double figures this season, as well as Genevieve Decker. It's Decker going around that screen up top. Good lay-in. Alters her angle and finishes high off the glass as the Racers try to push the pace. 3 ball off the iron and out. Offensive rebound collected by Patterson as Lawson missed the triple. Williams going in. Allen kicked out to the right side. Hoisting is Lyric Scott. Another loose ball. Williams unable to collect, but Allen does. Shot clock down to 4. Allen, does she notice it? 1 on the shot clock. And it won't matter. Jump ball potential there, but the violation of the shot clock first. And now subs Indiana Tech. Smith out, Covington in. So a 5-point Warrior advantage, 3:20 opening quarter. As I mentioned in our pregame show, this is the last home game for the next 2 weeks for Indiana Tech. Decker going around that screen up top. Flips it out, Worm. Rims off. Final 3 minutes of the first quarter. Northwestern Ohio trailing by 5. Williams couldn't make it 2. Missed the jumper, but it's over the back on the defense, trying to go after that loose ball. That's the 5th team foul of the quarter on the Warriors. Puts the Racers in the double bonus. And it's foul number 2 on Covington. Yep, we'd be shooting free throws here. Officials recognize it. Lee Lawson, sophomore guard out of Toledo. 1 of 3 on her first trip at the line. Lawson hits the first. Free throws have been good to Northwestern Ohio here in the early going. Lawson 1 for 2, and certainly the students, the wrestling team, having an impact here tonight. Now 4 of 6 at the line for Northwestern Ohio. 4-point Indiana Tech lead. Pass for Decker and a foul as Scott too aggressive. Mark that down as the 3rd team foul against Northwestern Ohio. Inbound, Decker goes up, draws the contact, and Genevieve Decker puts herself right back at the free throw line for Indiana Tech. And Decker 4 points, 2 of 3 from the floor, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. She also has a block here in this first quarter. Oh, Hammer comes on as Lyric Scott just picked up her second personal. First free throw good for Genevieve Decker. 8 points for Foy, 5 for Decker, and 3 for Lowry. That totals up to 16 for Indiana Tech as Decker goes 2 for 2. Thompson, Patterson, Allen out there with Oyhammer and Lawson. Patterson launching off the heel. Burris defensive board. Pass for Smith nearly taken away. Burris gives up for Corinne Smith. Closing in on the final 2 minutes of this first quarter. Worm, another 3 ball. This time it's good. Bethany Worm's first bucket of the night comes from distance. Indiana Tech's advantage up to its largest so far at 9 points. A runner and Lawson good over the top. Lee Lawson, 6 points. Worm cutting to the left block. And now she's got 5 as the lay-in is good. Timeout for Northwestern Ohio. Minute 32 left in the first quarter. Indiana Tech extends its lead back to 9 here on SummitCitySports.com. We'll be back right after this.
Tech goes by many names. Business, fine art, forensic science. Some think it's just technical. But really, tech means everything. Scholarships, internships, championships. It's professors who make time for you one-on-one. It's putting everything on the line. It can be fierce. It can be fascinating. It can be awesome. Most important, it's believing in yourself and what you have to offer the world. Because at Indiana Tech, Warriors are prepared to lead a significant life.
Back to live action here inside the Schaefer Center. Midway through the shot clock on this possession for Northwestern Ohio. Lawson drives inside, lost the ball on the way up, still on the floor, picked up by Allen. A kick out for a 3 from Patterson. Short, another offensive rebound to Allen. Now it's Thompson in the corner. 3 is good, but she stepped out of bounds before she took it. Turnover by UNOH. Lyric Scott in for Allen. With just a tick over a minute to go in the first quarter. 9 points is the largest lead so far for Indiana Tech. Burris on the drive, creates the contact, and Patterson charged with a foul. That's team foul number 5 on Northwestern Ohio, so double bonus for Indiana Tech as Burris heads to the charity stripe. One of 3 players from Dublin, Ohio. Juliana Burris knocks in the first free throw. Her first points. And now 2 of them tonight for Burris. Well, a 23-second difference between shot and game clock. Patterson going up against Worm on the inside, spins it back out. Thompson for Oyhammer. Catch and shoot, and good. As Oyhammer takes advantage of her first look on the offensive side. Shot clock is essentially turned off here. Maybe 0.2 difference, 0.3, but we're pretty much even in terms of game and shot clock. Burris checks the sideline. Coach Biggs calls out what they want to run here. Burris dribbling, attacks, missed the lay-in. Final second, Scott heaves it, but no good. So the opening quarter comes to a close here at the Schaefer Center. Number 25, Indiana Tech leads Northwestern Ohio 24-15 after one. Warriors basketball when we return from this break. SummitCitySports.com. Don't go anywhere.
From the first day, I felt very welcome at Indiana Tech.
I just really enjoy the classes and the vibe I get from all the other athletes and just the students here. Everybody's cool and everybody gets along really well.
I'm currently a senior, and since my freshman year, student life activities have really grown throughout campus, and there are so many ways that you can meet new people. You can go bowling, you can watch movies, and it's just really important to get involved on campus.
We have intramurals, anything from billiards to basketball. It's made student life very enjoyable.
I love Fort Wayne because there's always something going on, like festivals. I walk a bunch of the trails here locally. There's great restaurants. There's always something fun to do. You can never be bored here in Fort Wayne.
The school spirit at Indiana Tech is epic. It's everything. We had our first annual hockey game not too long ago. Everybody showed up, face paint, cowbells, Trojan hats, lawn gnomes. It was amazing. It makes it so worthwhile to be a Warrior. Go Warriors.
Number 25, Indiana Tech leading Northwestern Ohio 24-15 after the opening quarter here on SummitCitySports.com and Indiana Tech Athletics on YouTube. Jaron Matheny glad to be with you tonight. Esau Haynes is running our camera here this evening. Big news in the world of college football today. If you missed it, just came out within the last hour, maybe less than that. Nick Saban, the only head coach to win a national championship in 3 different decades, has called it quits at Alabama, officially retiring. And that'll turn the college football world on its head, certainly. We've got college basketball to cover here. It's a zone defense for the Racers to start this quarter. Lowry, Decker, Burris, Smith, and Foy, the 5 out there for Tech. It's Burris, long range, rolls out, offensive rebound. Foy kicks back, Smith, triple is good. Well, Corinne Smith, her first three-pointer made. Patterson gets the screen. Scott's in the game despite those 2 personal fouls. Thompson from beyond long range, and that's good. Matches that Corinne Smith 3. There's another 3, this time Lowry the triple. Saw this last night actually at Wayne High School, opening quarter of action. In the first 3 minutes of the game, 8 threes were made. Offensive foul. And depending upon who that's on, foul charge to 34, Oy Hammer, so that's just her first. .12 Indiana Tech advantage, 8.5 minutes until the halftime break. This is a doubleheader tonight. Men's teams both waiting off to their respective sides to hit the floor for the warm-up period. Decker for Foy, and Erica Foy into double figures here in the first half. Largest lead so far for Indiana Tech. Thompson trying to quiet the crowd, not this time. Burris for Smith. Quick pitch to the inside, Foy. Now Decker, good find by Erica Foy. Timeout, Northwestern Ohio. Indiana Tech with 7:52 to go until the halftime break extends its lead to 16 points. Timeout for the Racers. We'll be back after this. SummitCitySports.com.
Want to know what it means to be a Warrior? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and walk a mile in a Warrior's shoes.
Good luck, Tammy.
See you, David.
Things happen. How do you make the unexpected happen? Take the next step with an online degree from Indiana Tech. Start with a visit to one of our 2 new Chicago area enrollment centers in Naperville or Wilmette. You'll discover a wide range of affordable undergraduate and graduate degrees with flexible class schedules designed to fit your lifestyle and help you earn a degree sooner than you'd expect. Embrace the unexpected at Indiana Tech.
You want to know what's possible at Indiana Tech? Visit Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a Warrior.
A balanced scoring attack so far for Indiana Tech has the Warriors up 34-18, just under 8 minutes to go in the second quarter. Jaron Matheny, SummitCitySports.com, happy to be with you. Erica Foy leading the scoring on both sides of the aisle with 10 points. 8 points for Genevieve Decker, 6 for Amaris Lowry. Bethany Worms got 5 of her own. 3 points for Corinne Smith and then 2 for Juliana Burris. Taylor Covington's dealt with some foul trouble, but she's the only one so far that's hit the floor and has not scored in this game. Covington's only played 5 minutes due to that foul trouble in the opening quarter. Just 2 timeouts remaining for the Racers in this game now as this pass was deflected off of Decker and out of bounds. And you're in a little bit of a danger zone right now if you're Northwestern Ohio. And that's why you totally get why the timeout was just taken, because you know, you're dealing with some injuries and players out in addition to everything else. The score in this game. Lawson, nice spin cycle, but got blocked by Smith. Lawson going back up and whistle for the travel. Student section's been loud and proud tonight here in the Schaefer Center. Foy, double team, loose ball, and a kick ball. I'll keep it with Indiana Tech. Shot clock reset to 20. Starting 5 minus Covington out there. It's Lowry instead of Covington as Smith turns. Missed on the little jumper. D. Williams trying to push that pace for Northwestern Ohio. Lawson drives, got around the corner, but too strong on the lay-in. See, she can definitely get to her spots if she's left open. Smith, she's open. Unable to connect. Foy fights for the offensive rebound and is fouled. Erica Foy, relentless, going after loose boards. Thompson just charged with her second personal, second team foul. Foy hits the first free throw. Just under 17 points a game this year for Erica Foy. And 2 for 2 on this trip. Career for Erica Foy, 13 points, 7.5 rebounds a game, 17 points, 8 rebounds a game this season for Foy. Drive to the inside and a foul here sends Williams to the free throw line. Foy, 12 points tonight, 1,868 in her career. Williams gets the soft fall off that first free throw. One for 2 on this trip. We're inside 6.5 minutes until the break. Foy, good pass. Decker attacks and lays it home. Layla Crossley, 84-88, 2,082 points. That's the record here at Indiana Tech. And Foy certainly within range to potentially break that if she keeps up her pace. Jump shot from Williams, too strong. Foy with another rebound. Burris out to the corner. Lowry looking for another. Not on this attempt. Loose ball and a foul as Lawson emerged from the pile with a basketball. Foy and Covington now each with 2 personal fouls. Foy this season's already passed the 1,000 rebound mark. Looking for 2,000 career points potentially. Bethany Worm rebound. And quickly up ahead, they go into Decker. Worm for Burris. Now Lowry, Worm attacking. Kept her dribble alive. Shot clock to 7. Burris creates the separation, but missed the 3. We're midway through the second quarter. Indiana Tech doubled up on UNOH. Thompson to the right. Allen catch and shoot on the 15-foot jumper, but too strong. And Lowry collects near the corner. No wasted time for Indiana Tech as they move up the floor. Pass into Decker, got bumped into, and that's going to be the 3rd foul on Liv Thompson. 3rd team foul of the quarter as well. And with a short bench, UNOH going back to Lyric Scott, who's got 2 personals. Right now, it's just 3 on that bench. 8 total players on this trip able to play for Northwestern Ohio as Genevieve Decker's got 2 more. Decker and Foy each with 12 here in the first half. No 3 from Williams. And Indiana Tech, you're starting to feel the blowout incoming. Worm cuts inside, too strong on the lay-in. Nice rebound from Allen, nearly had it ripped away by Worm though. Under 4 minutes, first half. Lawson sinks it. She can score in bunches, up to 9 now, and as I mentioned, averages 20 a game. Worm, back out up high. Smith, catch and shoot. Burris threw it off of Allen, saves the possession for Indiana Tech. Boy, Hammer in for UNOH. Covington returns, and Lauren Barton is in for the first time as well. 3:23 until the break, and get Covington back out there. And she immediately finds Decker for the and 1. Decker now the leading scorer in this game. Decker at the free throw line. Here's a look at it again. Covington just quick pass, and that baseline, Decker takes advantage. "21-point lead for Indiana Tech. Williams on the attack, runs into Barton. Offensive foul as Lauren Barton takes the charge. And those are the plays that lead to games like this one getting out of hand. You got an and 1 on one side of the floor and then an offensive foul on the other side. And Tech has a chance to blow this game wide open before we hit halftime. And another foul when we're in the double bonus. 2 free throws for Indiana Tech. Williams, her first personal. Decker off on the first free throw attempt. But 1 for 2, Genevieve Decker. 16 first half points. Patterson attacks, had to step around Barton and missed the lay-in. Now 2:40 to go, second quarter. Burris back to the scorer's table. Worm in, Decker again, just rolled out. She's had so many opportunities to just keep finding her open underneath. Patterson out, Oyhammer for Williams. Baseline drive, kicks back to Allen. And a foul on the Warriors. Worm, too much contact as Williams came baseline. It's the second on Worm. Decker's going to come out, though. Burris returning. So both Covington and Worm on the floor with those 2 personal fouls for Coach Biggs. 22 points is the largest lead for Indiana Tech. Williams able to save it. Shot clock down to 10. Lawson funnels a pass into a tight window. Patterson missed the left-handed lay-in. Worm rebound inside at 2 minutes until the half. Trying to go into Barton, get it to her, right block. Barton over the left shoulder, but too strong. Let's see if the Racers can come away with some points. Williams hangs for an Oyhammer elbow jump shot. That's not there either. Northwestern Ohio's gone cold from the floor. Worm was wide open. They'll have to kick back out. Covington inside. Barton fouled. Williams, that's her 3rd personal foul. So now Williams and Thompson with 3. And an already depleted bench. Barton, first free throw is good. Now she's in the score sheet. Barton hits the pair. 3, maybe 4 possessions remaining if things are timed out right in this final minute 9 of the second quarter. Lawson out to the right, and Oyhammer bumped into by Worm. That's going to be her 3rd personal foul. So now 3 players in this first half with 3 personals. It's the 4th team foul on Tech. Shot clock to 20. Patterson, step back triple, and that connects. Much needed bucket there for Northwestern Ohio, trying to stay in this game in the first half. Lowry got dinged up a little bit there. Wet spot on the floor. They'll wipe that up quickly as Covington triggers the inbound. Here's Covington, top of the key, 3 ball, that's good. And everyone who stepped on the floor in this first half for Indiana Tech's now got at least a point. 10-second difference between shot and game clock. Lawson lost it. Barton picked it up. and she's fouled, and we'll head to the other side of the floor for free throws as well. Last possession, Burris, here's Covington, she's just too open. Barton, 2 free throws upcoming. Indiana Tech, 10 of 11. Now 11 of 12 from the line so far. Oh, really good shooting first half, 12 of 13. Shot clock is dark. Patterson and UNOH looking for that last shot. Lawson, 3 ball. Foot on the line, they'll say it's just a 2 for Lawson. And that'll close out the first half of action. But a good first half at that. 51-27 at the end of the first half of play. Number 25, Indiana Tech on top. 16 points for Genevieve Decker. 12 points for Erica Foy. Everyone who stepped foot on the floor in the first half has at least 2 points for Indiana Tech, as Lawson leads the scoring on the other side for Northwestern Ohio. Lawson with 12 out of the 27 points for the Racers. Halftime break at the Schaefer Center here in downtown Fort Wayne, Indiana. It's the Indiana Tech Warriors 51, Northwestern Ohio 27. We'll come back with more first half stats and take a look at some scores around the WHAC after this here on SummitCitySports.com. First, let's take a look around the Indiana Tech campus.
Hi, I'm Paxton, and I'll be your tour guide today. Behind me, we have Pearson Hall. This is one of our freshman dorms on campus. Today, I'll be showing you dorm rooms. Come inside. The only way to get into campus is if you have an ID card, so you'll have to swipe into all the dorms. And then over here, we have an intercom system. So through every dorm, we have these dial buttons within the dorm rooms and then outside. So say you're visiting somebody, you don't live here, you would dial their room number, and then you can actually call their room, and they can unlock the doors to the dorm through the intercom system, and you can talk to them. They can see you through a camera, and they can unlock the doors for you so they don't have to leave the room. It's really nice to have. So right here we just have our main lobby. Every floor has a lobby. In the lobbies we just have TVs and stuff. You can watch movies, play video games. You can hang out with friends, do homework, play card games. It's just a nice little hangout area to have. And then right here, this is what we call our RA office. So every single night there will be an RA in the office. They're just there for your needs if you have any issues with toilets or sinks or anything being clogged. They'll always be in there for your help. If you have questions about anything, you can always come see an RA here. And then over here, we have mailboxes. Every student has a mailbox. They are really small. The only thing they can fit is card-sized items. Throughout campus, you'll see our mail room when you go on your actual tour later on, and that will be in one of our other buildings where you'll receive bigger packages. All right, so here's the laundry room. So in the laundry room, you don't have to save quarters or use quarters. I know it says 25 cents, but it is included with living on campus. And then there's one on every floor and every side of floor, so there's 2 on every floor in Pearson. So every student has keys to their dorm. And then as you come in, you will see our intercom system right here that I talked about in the entranceway. So this is where you would unlock the door for visitors, talk to them. And then one really nice thing about it is there is a security guard button right there. So if you were to have somebody calling your room constantly at 5 o'clock in the morning because some student forgot their keys, you could actually press the security guard button and it will lock them in that little box that we entered to into the dorm. It'll lock both the outside doors and the inside doors and call security. So it also has a nice safety measure within your room. You don't even have to leave your room for that. So it's really nice. And then as we enter in this way, you'll see this is the half of our room looks like. So there's this, and then on the other side of the suite, there's a mirrored room that looks exactly like this. The desk, the dressers, and the closets, and all of the drawers and stuff all come with. You can decorate it any way you'd like, and then like mini fridges, TVs, anything like that you would bring here. And then through here we have our bathroom. So then as we come into the bathroom, you'll see that this side of the room has their own sink and toilet, and then as you come through, there's one shower shared between the two rooms, and then this side of the room has their own sink and toilet, and then there's the mirrored room right here. So then they share a little common space out there, and then this is the exact same stuff, and it's all the same. Here we have CalFlush. This is our other freshman dorm on campus. It is across the street from main campus. We'll be showing another freshman dorm, the laundry room, and then the hangout lobby area. Come on in. So same thing as Pearson. To get into the dorms, you have to have a swipe card that unlocks and lets you in. All right, and then we have the same intercom system as we do in Pearson, and it runs throughout all of the dorms. And then in here is the lobby area where all the students hang out. We have like a TV so people can hook up like Xboxes or anything like that, DVD players, you can watch movies. I know RA's put on a bunch of activities down here. They do like movie nights with hot chocolate during the winter. We've done like pumpkin carving, and we watch a Halloween movie, and so that's all done down here. And then it's the same thing over here. You can do some studying, you can hang out with friends, you can eat dinner if you want, and like I said, you can hang out with your RA, hang out with your friends, do homework, but follow me to the next part. So same thing as Pearson, every student has keys to their dorm. So when you first walk in, it's different than Pearson where there's no like two mirrored room. It's just one room with two students. The shelves, the desk, the drawers, all of the beds and stuff all come with. And then over here, it's the same for Pearson and CalFlush. You can control the air condition and the heat for the room, not the entire dorm, which is so nice because then it's between you and your roommate, not through hundreds of people in one building. And then as we walk over here, you'll see that the sink is outside of the bathroom, which is so nice because obviously if your roommate's showering, you don't have to worry about not being able to brush your teeth or even use the sink or get a drink of water or anything like that. And then as we walk over here, you'll see only two roommates to one bathroom. And then the shelving space. And then instead of Pearson where they have closets, you would have this whole shelving space and hanger area. And then same thing as Pearson, we have the intercom system over here where you can press the security guard button, you can talk to them, and then see them through the camera. CalFlush also has mailboxes. They're the same size. They fit card-sized items. And again, if you have any bigger packages, we do have a mailroom on campus. So then through here, this is the laundry room. The difference between Pearson and CalFlush is CalFlush, there's only one in the whole building and it's on the first floor, whereas Pearson has them on every floor. But it is the same as they are included with living here, so you don't have to use quarters. It's free to the students. And that concludes the tour. Thanks for coming with. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to your counselor. Hope to see you around campus. Go Warriors!
Halftime break here at the Schaefer Center, Fort Wayne, Indiana. Number 25, Indiana Tech leading Northwestern Ohio at the halftime break, 51-27 on the scoreboard in favor of Indiana Tech. Let's take a look at some of our first half stats and some of the top plays of the first half as well, courtesy of our replay system. Well, it was Erica Foy early and often in the first quarter for Indiana Tech. Foy ended up with 12 first half points. Warriors getting it done on both ends of the floor. Bethany Worm sliding in to take the charge on that play. We saw Lauren Barton take a charge as well. We move forward to the second quarter. Tech leading by single digits. And this three from Corinne Smith takes it to double figures, and Indiana Tech did not look back from there. The Warriors extending their lead to 32-18. Another possession down the floor. This is Foy in for Genevieve Decker, who leads all scorers at the halftime break with 16 points. And whether it was offense, defense, or even coming out and throwing on an inbound pass, was Covington to Decker here for the and one. And it's 51-27, Indiana Tech leading Northwestern Ohio at the halftime break. We talked about the other games going on, the Wolverine Hoosier Athletic Conference today. Let's check out some of the current scores that could impact the standings of the conference moving forward. Starting with the games that started at 5:30. These are in the fourth quarter. These two games currently in the fourth quarter. Cornerstone leading Rochester 56-48. Concordia leading Aquinas 67-55 is the score at Aquinas. So Concordia looks like they'll stay unbeaten and go to 10-0 in the conference this year with a win tonight. Other games in the WHAC, Siena Heights leading Dearborn at the half 40-19. And then elsewhere, we're missing one score of those games, Madonna and Lawrence Tech. Although I just do not see, there we go. End of the third quarter, Lawrence Tech up by 14 on Madonna. And this is a score that may surprise some people. Cleary is currently leading at Lourdes 52-47 with 9:01 to play in the fourth quarter. Some other games in our area going on right now on the women's side of things, and games that could have impact on the top 25. St. Francis defeats Mount Vernon Nazarene in Ohio 57-53, the final score. Indiana Wesleyan going to trounce Taylor. That's 84-51. Late stages of the fourth quarter. That game being played at Taylor tonight. Some games in the Great Plains Athletic Conference this evening as well. And one of the top teams in the country, Dort, who is just getting ready to get started at Jamestown in North Dakota this evening. So lots of big games tonight. The one you care about the most, Indiana Tech on top of Northwestern Ohio 51-27 here at the halftime break. SummitCitySports.com will step aside, come back in 4 minutes with second half action. You're tuned in to Tech women's basketball here on SummitCitySports.com.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our cameras. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season, or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
I decided if I was going to come to Indiana Tech, I was going to be a different kind of instructor. I was really going to focus on connecting with students, teaching the students the theory that they needed, and also the practical applications.
Very practically, what that looks like is smaller class sizes. So my class sizes are the 8 to 10 up to maybe 20. And that's backed up with, we have 18 hours of office hours every week. I'm sitting in my office waiting for students to come in to talk about anything. It doesn't just have to be with the classroom.
In the College of Engineering, we have ABET accreditation for mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, and biomedical engineering. ABET is the top accrediting board for engineering in the United States and probably in the world.
Another thing that is a very different approach at Indiana Tech, I think, that some other universities, is we try and make sure they have a lot of lab experience in the engineering department. All engineering programs are going to have laboratory courses, but in our laboratory courses we try to get them not just exposure to measurements and exposure to some of the devices that you'll be used, but I like to actually assign projects that are, realistic projects.
Those projects, this project-based learning, help students to work together in a group and be hands-on with their the material or the product that they're creating. Engineering students at Indiana Tech are, to me, stand out because I know that they've had a lot of experiences working in groups, working on projects, doing lab experiments to help them understand the material. And I think that prepares them well for industry.
First thing I'll tell a high school student is study, study, study. Get all the math you can possibly get. I honestly believe that the critical thinking skills you learn in math courses will help you with engineering courses.
The type of knowledge base that students should have coming in, they need to be problem solvers and critical thinkers. Those two things are really the essence of engineering. Regardless of flavor, they're going to need to figure out, there's a problem here, how do I solve it? And they need to think critically about that. They need to observe, listen to people, and then kick in those problem-solving skills to solve the problem.
Part of the growth of Indiana Tech has involved an increasing number of international students. So I think if we can expose students to different ideas, different cultures, again, it makes them that much more competitive in the marketplace.
In the Fort Wayne area, we have lots of large companies, BAE Systems, Fort Wayne Metals, General Motors, Raytheon, Harris Corporation, and the list goes on. We have a lot of employers that want our engineering students.
Indiana Tech, I think, continues to serve students even beyond their graduation. We really strive to keep in touch with our alumni on a personal level just to see how they're doing, but then also they want to give back to the university because of the experiences they've had here, so they want to provide opportunities for other students here as well.
(51-27), Indiana Tech leading Northwestern Ohio. Second half set to begin. And it's the starting five who will hit the floor for Indiana Tech. Starting five as well for Northwestern Ohio. Put 10 minutes on the clock. It is Racers basketball to begin this third quarter of action. And Northwestern Ohio just 33 points at the last time out. So the offense hasn't quite fallen apart in this game, but they just haven't been able to come up with stops against Indiana Tech. Warriors shooting 53% from the field in the first half, 12 of 13 at the free throw line. Lawson out in the corner. Oyhammer gives back up out up high. Patterson pulls up inside a 21, and it kicks off the iron for Covington. Everybody who touched the floor in the first half scored at least 2 points for Indiana Tech as that one rolls off of Foy's hand out of bounds. It stays with the Warriors. 22 to work offensively. And again, with Concordia holding their ground at Aquinas tonight, we won't see a ton of change in the standings in this conference as Foy is fouled by Allen on the way to the cup. So Erica Foy to the free throw line. Allen's second personal, and that's the first foul of this third quarter. Foy's first free throw is good. Foy, 5 out of her last 6 field goals have gone through. 6 out of the last 7 field goals for Genevieve Decker have also been true as Foy hits both free throws. Second half begins with points of the charity stripe for Indiana Tech, now 14 of 15 at the line. Lawson kicks off. Allen. Now for Thompson. Foul trouble for UNOH. Patterson launching. That kicks out, but an offensive rebound for Oyhammer. Thompson had 3 personal fouls, as did Williams at the halftime break for UNOH. Patterson to Allen. She goes, attacks Decker. Too strong. A nice box out that time by Foy to grab the defensive board. Covington pushing up ahead to Decker. Couple of head fakes. Scooped it up with the left hand. Got her own rebound. Foy jump shot. Right on target. Erica Foy, 16 points. Genevieve Decker, 16 points. Tech has its largest lead of 28. It'll be first place on the line Saturday in Ann Arbor, Concordia and Indiana Tech for women's basketball. Burris the takeaway and pushing up the floor. Tried to feed it off left. It's out of bounds. Stay with the Warriors. Just haven't had a ton of opportunities. Officials are going to get together here. Thought maybe this ball went out of bounds without being touched there by the Racers, and that is the case. So a turnover by Indiana Tech. Thompson sinking from long range. First points of the second half for UNOH belong to the freshman Liv Thompson. It's out of bounds, stays with Indiana Tech. Amaris Lowry on for Juliana Burris. Our next game features the Tech men, who are 7-1 of the conference, taking on the Racer men, who are at 2-6 in the WHAC. They lost the last time out against Lawrence Tech as well. Warriors defeating Rochester here on the home floor this past Saturday. Covington inside, Foy turns, kissed it off the glass, but not the window that time. Patterson and company with double screens up high. Thompson, another catch and shoot. 3, and that's good. Liv Thompson, all 6 points for Northwestern Ohio to start this third quarter. Worm and Burris go to the scores table immediately after those two made threes. Covington with Lawson on top of her. And a reach-in foul against Lawson. That's fairly good defense on the far side of the floor. Second personal charge to Lawson. Smith and Covington coming out for Indiana Tech. The men's game will be 30 minutes following the conclusion of this game. Maybe more like 33 minutes probably once we get all the starting lineups read and everything like that. But they'll be pretty quick with the turnaround. We'll be on our YouTube page once again. Corner 3 ball, and that rims off for Lowry. Patterson and a handoff. Lawson pulls up. Soft roll. Lawson hits, and it's back to a 20-point game. Nice 8-0 spurt here from Northwestern Ohio. Foy, leave her open. Doesn't connect, though. The Racers could bring it back to 17 or 18 here. And not that Tech should be too worried quite yet, but if Northwestern Ohio finds a roll, and they have as Patterson hits the 3, make it 11 straight scored for Northwestern Ohio. And this is far from being done. Worm to Foy. 15-foot jump shot was short. Oyhammer, excuse me, with a rebound. And the Racers looking to set things up again. Couple of threes have been made. Lawson looking for hers. She's got it. And the Racers have brought it back to 14 on a 14-0 run over the last 3 minutes of game time. Good fight from Coach Vavro's squad. Worm attacks the cup. 2 much-needed points there for Bethany Worm and Indiana Tech. Midway through the third quarter. Northwestern Ohio can keep finding that open look from long range. Here's Thompson letting another go. Decker tracks it down in the corner. Man, if that had fallen, you start to think that they weren't going to miss in this second half. Lowry to Burris, short corner, dump into Decker. Worms open on the kick out. 3 ball, no. Patterson rebound. 51-27 at the half, now 57-41. And a little 11-0 run mixed in there for the Racers. Lawson, the jump shot. And Northwestern Ohio's feeling it right now on the road here in Fort Wayne. Got to have it on both sides of the floor, though, if you're going to mount a comeback against number 25. No conference wins for Northwestern Ohio. No conference losses for Indiana Tech. But the Warriors being tested here in the third quarter. That's off of Decker's hands. Turnover by Tech. 3:51 third quarter. And that sends us to our media timeout. Some things to talk about for Indiana Tech as Northwestern Ohio's offense has come to life. We'll return to the Schaefer Center after this. SummitCitySports.com.
Want to know what it means to be a Warrior? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and walk a mile in a Warrior's shoes.
Good luck, Tammy.
See you, David.
Things happen. How do you make the unexpected happen? Take the next step with an online degree from Indiana Tech. Start with a visit to one of our 2 new Chicago area enrollment centers in Naperville or Wilmette. You'll discover a wide range of affordable undergraduate and graduate degrees with flexible class schedules designed to fit your lifestyle and help you earn a degree sooner than you'd expect. Embrace the unexpected at Indiana Tech.
You want to know what's possible at Indiana Tech? Visit Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a Warrior.
3:51 to go, third quarter, 57-43, Indiana Tech on top. This lead has been as many as 28 points for Indiana Tech. Racers basketball out of the media timeout. Credit to this group for not shutting down at the halftime break. Thompson runs into Worm. Offensive foul. And that's the 4th on Liv Thompson as Worm, for the 2nd time in this game, draws contact and takes a charge. This is a possession where you feel like you might have to have something offensively here for Indiana Tech, just the way this third quarter has gone. Racers trying to cut this lead to about 10 before we start the 4th. They'd be feeling really good about that. Worm, the size advantage, turns too strong on the lay-in, but Burris got the offensive board. Out for a Covington triple. Yes! Covington from downtown. A 17-point game once again. Allen slings it. Patterson, dribble drive attack, and she's going to the line for 2 free throws. Coach Biggs does not agree with the call here. That's on Worm. I believe that'll be her 4th. It is. Last possession, offensive rebounds, leading to points on the Covington 3. $60-45. About 2.5 to go, third quarter. Here's Covington, dumped off for Foy. And the lead back to 17. And Indiana Tech kicking up the pressure a little bit in the process as well. Patterson checking the sideline again. This lead has been as many as 28 for Indiana Tech. Racers have cut it down to 14. Lawson on the drive, no shot. She's fouled on the floor with the contact prior. That's the second team foul against Tech here in the third. Lawson inbounding. Patterson hand in her face. Oyhammer offensive rebound. Lawson attacking, runner, soft roll. Lawson shaking her head, feeling a groove for UNOH. She's got 20, and a quiet 20 at that. My goodness. Lead at 15 for Indiana Tech. Smith, double teamed, fights through it, but missed that lay-in. Patterson slows it down. The Racers have done a fantastic job. You have to tip your cap for how this team has come out in the third quarter and not gone away, because they easily could have folded with the score of what it was. Patterson to make it a 12-point game. Sigh of relief here in the Schaefer Center. Covington attacks, throws it up, and Oyhammer rebound. Coming up on the final minute of this third quarter. Carry, yep. Don't see it called often, but that one was just too obvious as Patterson turned that underhand. And now a minute 2 left in the third quarter. Northwestern Ohio has cut into this Indiana Tech advantage, which was 24 at the half. Burris going into Decker. Extra touch for a Smith three. Not on this attempt. About a 7.5 second difference between shot and game clock. This game is far from over. Screen from Allen. Oyhammer three. That's off to the left. 12 seconds to go in the quarter. Burris now with 8. Got to start now. Burris driving. Got around Allen. Ran into Oyhammer, and that's where the foul is. Oyhammer on the block. And it should be 2 free throws for Juliana Burris. Oyhammer's second personal. Burris, free throw good. Just the third point of the night for Juliana Burris. All have come from the free throw line, but she's got 6 assists, finding different ways to keep herself involved in the offensive side. Oyhammer may have been partially deflected there. She tried to throw it down the floor. That ends the third quarter of play. Nice comeback effort from Northwestern Ohio, but it's Indiana Tech still holding a 17-point advantage as we head to the fourth quarter. SummitCitySports.com, final 10 minutes after this.
From the first day, I felt very welcome at Indiana Tech.
I just really enjoy the classes and the vibe I get from all the other athletes and just the students here. Everybody's cool and everybody gets along really well.
I'm currently a senior, and since my freshman year, student life activities have really grown throughout campus, and there's so many ways that you can meet new people. You can go bowling, you can watch movies, and it's just really important to get involved on campus.
We have intramurals, anything from billiards to basketball. It's made student life very enjoyable.
I love Fort Wayne because there's always something going on, like festivals. I walk a bunch of the trails here locally. There's great restaurants. There's always something fun to do. You can never be bored here in Fort Wayne.
The school spirit at Indiana Tech is epic. It's everything. We had our first annual hockey game not too long ago. Everybody showed up, face paint, cowbells, Trojan hats, lawn gnomes. It was amazing. It makes it so worthwhile to be a Warrior. Go Warriors.
Well, Northwestern Ohio outscoring Indiana Tech 20-13 in that third quarter, but the Warriors building up that nice first half lead, leading by 17 with 10 minutes to go. SummitCitySports.com, Jared Matheny, glad you're with us. Esau Haynes is running our camera here tonight for both games. Liv Thompson is in for the Racers with 4 personal fouls, fourth quarter underway. Starting 5 hit the floor for Indiana Tech. Covington floats it high for Foy. Allen some help defensively, but it won't matter as Erica Foy twirls it in. She's got 20 points. Leads the scoring for Indiana Tech. Patterson working through some screens, out up high. Patterson launching, but comes up short. Potential numbers for Tech. Smith slings it right. Covington nearly traveled. Back to the inside. Decker turns, kisses the window, and it's back to a 21-point lead for Indiana Tech. 9 minutes to play. Thompson for a 3-ball. Lawson good, and Coach Biggs upset. You can't leave the best scorer that open. Lawson now at 23. Lowry at the scorer's table. Covington back inside, little pick and roll for Erica Foy. (70-50), Indiana Tech on top. 8:25 and counting, fourth quarter. Scott back out there, had 3 fouls in the first half. Lawson into the paint, runner, 2 more points as Lawson just keeps attacking the rim. He's up to 25 on 10 of 13 shooting. Inside, Decker has the height advantage, good footwork. Just not a whole lot Scott can do. .20 Indiana Tech lead. Moving screen by Scott up top. Patterson looking for a sub. Williams going to come in. I think Patterson played every minute of that third quarter. Scott out, Oyhammer back in. Williams back out there. Indiana Tech, 20-point lead right here. If you can take it next 3 minutes, keep it at 20 or extend it. We'll see that second and third unit hit the floor. Smith gives up for Lowry, 10 to work. Foy against Allen. Down to Decker. It's been her night. Genevieve Decker now with 22 points. That 3-ball off the long side of the backboard. A new season high for Genevieve Decker with those 22 points. Had 21 in the opener against Huntington. Foy face up, take the shot, good. And Indiana Tech increases the advantage back to 24. Warriors lock it in this fourth quarter, looking to pick up their 9th consecutive conference win to start the year. 9-0 in the WHAC, well within reach for Indiana Tech. See if the Warriors can close out the final 6 minutes after this. SummitCitySports.com. We'll be back in 1 minute.
Want to know the difference between dreaming and doing? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a Warrior. Want to know what it means to be a Warrior? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and walk a mile in a Warrior's shoes.
76-52, Indiana Tech leading Northwestern Ohio. 6 minutes, 22 seconds left in this game. Warriors on the verge of going to 12-3, 9-0 in the conference. And Northwestern Ohio trying to avoid dropping to 0-9 here in the Wolverine Hoosier Athletic Conference. They made it a lot more interesting in that third quarter. The Racers didn't go away, but the Warriors picked it right back up, looking to put the finishing touches on another victory. Allen to Williams. Allen the screen. Williams opens up the three. In and out. Foy rebound. And we've got a foul. Or maybe looking to see if there's some blood here. Genevieve Decker got hit up in the mouth, it appears. So just trying to make sure there's no blood on the jersey or anything like that, and she's okay. Looks like Genevieve Decker's all right, so no foul. They were just checking on her. Good work by the officials as we're inside of 6 minutes to play. 24-point game. The action offensively against the zone setup for UNOH. 2-3 zone. Burris for Foy. Jump shot. This time rolls off the iron. Williams looking for a screen from Allen. Lawson. Thompson around the screen from Oyhammer. Shot clock inside of 10. Williams scoops it up on the lay-in and gets it to go. Lowry open from three. Emerus Lowry from downtown. Allen, jump shot for her, spins around and out. Now turnover. Williams against Lowry, step to the right and gets the lay-in. Coming up on the 4-minute mark of this fourth quarter. Here's Lowry looking for another. Up to 12 points for Emerus Lowry. All from long range. Decker the assist. Tech has hit 8 of its last 9 field goals. 3 of 4 in their last 4 3-pointers. Allen on the attack. And a foul underneath. This is against Burris. 3:44 left in the fourth quarter. We've got our final media timeout. Indiana Tech 82, Northwestern Ohio 56. The rest of this game comes your way after the break. SummitCitySports.com. About 30 seconds until we return with the rest of this fourth quarter. 82-56, Indiana Tech leading Northwestern Ohio. SummitCitySports.com. Jaron Matheny, glad you are with us. Indiana Tech 52% from the floor in this game, 40% from long range, 16 of 17 at the free throw line. And Tech has turned the ball over just 3 times here tonight. 8 turnovers for Northwestern Ohio. Racers at 42% from the floor, 38% from deep, 7 of 10 at the charity stripe. 25 points for Lawson. Patterson's in double figures with 13. 24 points for Erica Foy, 22 for Genevieve Decker, 12 for Lowry. As Tech leading by a wide margin in this fourth quarter. UNOH got the lead back down to 14 as Lawson's called for a traveling violation here. We started the third quarter, the lead got up to 28 with about 8 minutes to go, and then the Racers cut that lead down slowly but surely to 14. About a minute to play until the third quarter, and then Indiana Tech locked back in and took care of this game. Lowry out of bounds, trying to save it on the throw back in. Barton in for Foy. Foy, Decker, and Smith now all on the bench. We'll start to see the rest of that bench empty out here for Indiana Tech. The 12th win in 15 tries this season. There's a foul on Burris out up top, pushed over Oyhammer. And Burris comes out. Dory Javins now in. Got some final scores from the WHAC tonight. Lawrence Tech defeating Madonna 76-55. Shot missed underneath Lowry, able to pick it up. Cleary defeats Lourdes at Lourdes tonight, 74-70 the final score. Siena Heights leading Dearborn 72-46. That game is into the late stages of the fourth quarter. Concordia, as Barton lays it in for 2 more. Concordia hangs on to beat Aquinas late. Aquinas charging back in the fourth quarter, but Concordia wins 71-67. Cardinals are now 10-0 in the Wolverine Hoosier Athletic Conference this season. Lawson 3 ball just kicked out. And Cornerstone defeating Rochester 68-60, the final there. Rolling subs here for Indiana Tech. McFarland, Keys enter the game. Chloe McLean also out there for Indiana Tech. McLean into Barton, back to McLean, who cuts but missed the lay-in. Final 2 minutes here at the Schaefer Center tonight. A traveling violation called on Williams. And there just really wasn't a whole lot of options for Northwestern Ohio off the bench tonight. They traveled with just 8 available to dress due to some injuries. Javins Dumps in. Barton, left-handed finish. Northwestern Ohio falls to 4-11, 0-9 in the conference. They'll be at home Saturday against Michigan Dearborn. Those two sides yet to win a conference game. Williams wild on that lay-in attempt. Javens into the corner. McLean, three, yeah! That's good, Chloe McLean. Sophomore out of Kokomo knocks down the triple. We're inside the final minute. Lawson can't add to her total. And it should be just one more possession, more than likely, on both sides. Barton going back out up high for Javens. And Javens gets the foul call. 32.4 on the clock. Nothing egregious there. It's one of those spots late in a game. We're at a 30-point, unless it's, absurd. You just don't love to see the whistle get blown. Javens going to take advantage, put Indiana Tech at 90 points here today. A 2-second difference between shot and game clock. A runner falls for Thompson. Shot clock off. And Indiana Tech's going to be able to dribble out the rest of this clock. A short trip back to Lima, Ohio for Northwestern Ohio. The Racers can't come away with a conference win despite a nice effort on the road tonight. 91-58, our final score. Indiana Tech improves to 12-3. With a win over Northwestern Ohio, the Warriors now 9-0 in the Wolverine Hoosier Athletic Conference. Your final stat totals tonight for Indiana Tech: 24 points for Erica Foy, 22 points for Genevieve Decker, 54% shooting from the floor for Tech, 43% from long range, 18 of 19 at the free throw line for Indiana Tech. Lee Lawson leads the scoring for Northwestern Ohio with 25 points on 10 of 15 shooting. 91-58, our final score. Number 25, Indiana Tech knocks off Northwestern Ohio. The Warriors are on the road on Saturday to take on Concordia with the top spot in the conference on the line. We'll talk to you for men's hoops after this. SummitCitySports.com.
Want to know the difference between dreaming and doing? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a Warrior. Want to know what it means to be a Warrior? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and walk a mile in a Warrior's shoes.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our cameras. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season, or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
From the first day, I felt very welcome at Indiana Tech.
I just really enjoy the classes and the vibe I get from all the other athletes and just the students here. Everybody's cool and everybody gets along really well.
I'm currently a senior, and since my freshman year, student life activities have really grown throughout campus, and there's so many ways that you can meet new people. You can go bowling, you can watch movies, and it's just really important to get involved on campus.
We have intramurals, anything from billiards to basketball. It's made student life very enjoyable.
I love Fort Wayne because there's always something going on, like festivals. I walk a bunch of the trails here locally. There's great restaurants. There's always something fun to do. You can never be bored here in Fort Wayne.
The school spirit at Indiana Tech is epic. It's everything. We had our first annual hockey game not too long ago. Everybody showed up, face paint, cowbells, Trojan hats, lawn gnomes. It was amazing. It makes it so worthwhile to be a Warrior. Go Warriors.
You want to know what's possible at Indiana Tech? Visit Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a Warrior.